Alright, guys, welcome to another new comic book day haul with me, Lohit, on Cupcakes Comic Reviews. And without further ado, we begin this week's haul with an Ashcan edition of Batman 159. Now, Batman 158 is the new Batman Hush 2 series with Jim Lee and Jeff Loeb. But this is the 159, which is the next issue. And this is the Ashcan edition. I don't know, it's very sought after by people. So my comic book store lady told me that, I probably need to get this. So then I got this. So yeah, right off the block, you can see that the David Mazzucchelli, Frank Miller Year One panels here. So yeah, uh, again, I have the Ashcan for the first one, and I have the issue also, which we'll be getting to in a while. But yeah, this is the Ashcan edition for issue 2 of Batman Hush. All right, this is the big one. So the big one for this week, for a lot of people, this is like book of the week. This is the Martian Manhunter, Absolute Martian Manhunter. So yeah, it is a new saga of the Martian Manhunter in the Absolute universe. And basically, what I know about this book is that it's written by Denise Camp, of course, and Javier Rodriguez supplies the art. But in this book, it's more like he's John Jones, and he's like a detective, and he has an accident or something, and he starts hearing thoughts of people, and then he starts developing his powers. He thinks that he is basically talking to them, and he's able to hear them and how he knows them. But then in the end, like, I guess it's more about him discovering like what he really is, and which is basically Martian Manhunter, right? But again, I like the way I like that the colors pop in this. The coloring is so good in this book. And it sounds to be one of those. It seems to me like when people tell me about this book, when people talk to me about this book, like it's an Image book, like written in the Image Comics world, but then it's a DC book too. So yeah, so it's like it's got that indie flavor, but then it's got the DC Comics universe within inside it too. So yeah, so super happy to have it, and super will be glad to read it. Then the next one is, yeah, this cover kind of sort of, it just spoke to me for some reason. This is We're Taking Everyone Down With Us. I have the Ashcan edition of this too, but this is written by Matthew Rosenberg, who did DC versus Vampires and a couple of other stuff. The Joker solo series when James Tynion 4 left it. So he's done a couple of good things. I like Matthew Rosenberg's writing. He's done an X-Men run too before, so for Marvel. And then Stefano Landini does the art. And yeah, this one is about. So what I know, the premise based on the premise for this is that there's this girl who's this girl basically, and she is the daughter of this famous scientist, and who neglects her, and he doesn't. He's so involved in his experiments and his work that he neglects his daughter. And the daughter basically has these robots or handmaidens to, take care of her. And she grows up with them. And then for some reason or the other, the father is now, he has passed away now. And then she has to roam around this dystopian world with the robot servants and all. So sounds like a good concept, sci-fi, So yeah, hopefully it's good. All right, what do we have next? Next, we have Patrick Zurcher, Solomon Kane. So Patrick Zurcher does the artwork and the story for this. So again, Solomon Kane is one of those. He's like a pilgrim from the Middle Ages, and again, he's on a quest for a religious war and stuff, and during the times of the Crusades and whatnot. And I read the Patrick Zurcher in the first Sabbath Sword of Conan story. There was a Solomon Kane story done by Patrick Zurcher where he fights a werewolf. That art and that whole story really spoke to me, and I was aware of Solomon Kane before, but I was never really into him. So after reading that Patrick Zurcher story, I was a big fan, first of all, because the art was impressive enough and the story was pretty decent too. But then after that, I also checked out the movie Solomon Kane, which is directed by MJ Bassett, and that was turned out to be a good movie too, man. It's an older movie from like the early 2000s, But then, yeah, it was still very well directed, and it's sword and sorcery and high fantasy and Robert E. Howard universe. So why the hell not, man? So Solomon Kane, The Serpent Ring. This is issue 1, and I think they're gonna do an ongoing for Solomon Kane, just like they're doing for Conan, the Conan stuff. Okay, speaking of Howardverse, this is just a fun buy for me. So again, this is Red Sonja versus Mars Attacks. I tricked my dad in the 90s to go to see Mars Attacks. I told him it's something like Independence Day, the movie Independence Day. And then when he came into the theater and they put like Sarah Jessica Parker's head on a dog, then basically my dad was in tears and I was laughing hysterically. I was laughing my heart out. So I have some connection with Mars Attacks, but I have even a more deeper connection with Red Sonja. It was probably Red Sonja was my first English movie when I was like 5 years old or something. I saw it as a kid on TV with my dad again. And yeah, ever since I've had a big thing for Red Sonja. So I like the character, I like her look, and I like her red hair and the chain metal bikini, and then the sword, and and yeah, there's more to her lore too. With her having her pact with the demon god Skatach. So yeah, so I like Red Sonja. Oh, I am a big fan of Red Sonja, and then coincidentally, the person who did the Solomon Kane movie, MJ Bassett, is directing a Red Sonja movie too, which comes out. They just found their distributor. I heard this today, and then apparently for the US. So the movie will drop probably somewhere around end of autumn, probably around October or September time. So yeah, if it's as good as, if it's any like close to what Solomon Kane was, then yeah, we have a good movie in our hands. So be sure to check that out. This one is an exclusive new collectible trading card. That's basically the same cover. So it's the cover of the book. This is a J. Lee cover, which is pretty awesome, and it's the trading card is basically the same thing as the J. Lee cover. And yeah, Red Sonja versus Mars Attacks, man. This is, I don't know. This is one of those pair ups where you don't know what's going to happen. Is she going to space? Are they going to invade Earth? Or in the Hyborian Age? What's going on here? Nobody knows. But yeah, but this is a new. It's a fun series, so I don't have to put too much thought into it and just enjoy the ride. And she's going to slash a lot of these Martians and stuff. So yeah, it's just a fun little series. So Red Sonja, and as I said, movie comes out probably this year. So yeah, glad to have this. Okay, next one is an ongoing. Again, this is Kelly Thompson on Absolute Wonder Woman. So yeah, this is ongoing. I think this finishes the first arc completely, and then yeah, I like this cover. So yeah, this has been one of the best ongoing series. Kelly Thompson and Hayden Sherman, who I met in Comic Con, doesn't do the art for this. It is Matthias T. Lewis who's done the art for this. So yeah, I am more than happy to check it out. I heard that his art is more like the painted style art. So yeah, Wonder Woman number 6, Absolute Wonder Woman number 6, finishing the first arc of it. Okay, and this is the big one. This is J. Scott Campbell cover of Batman 158, the Hush story, the Hush Part 2 story, Hush Part 2 issue 1, or Batman issue 158, because unlike Marvel, they keep their continuity, they keep the issue numbering, they don't keep on renumbering it to an issue number 1. But yeah, I'm curious. My first Absolute I bought was the Absolute Hush, because I like the Jim Lee artwork so much in that book that I was like, yeah, I need to, like, this is the best thing ever I've seen. And then I just needed to have that in an oversized format. At that point of time, this was early, like I think 2004 or 2005. I did not know what an omnibus was at that point of time, but I had to save up a lot of money because the Absolute was like really expensive. But yeah, I think it was one of my first paychecks that I spent on this big book, the Absolute Hush, and I still own it. And I think, yeah, it's one of my favorite Absolute books of all time. So I hope that, the same thing is, the same magic is again rekindled in this book in Hush 2. So curious to check it out. I know that these characters are not there in this book, but then, yeah, I went for this cover because, I like Harley, I like Poison Ivy, I like Selena, I like the Superman in it. So, and then Hush and Batman. Hush and Batman are of course in it, and Joker is also there, but the other characters are not there. At least not in issue one and this issue. So hopefully, yeah, you never know, they show up. But yeah, but this is an awesome, gorgeous cover, and yeah. So that's about the singles. I also got like two collected editions. So let's talk about them quickly before we end the video. So this one is H.P. Lovecraft, The Call of Cthulhu by Gu Tanabe. So I learned of Gu Tanabe and him adapting all these H.P. Lovecraft works through again Taylor's video. So Taylor Talks Comics, that he did a video about In the Mountains of Madness, and that's by that the deluxe edition by Gutanabe. What I didn't know was that he has done like the Cthulhu books too. So it is the same thing what H.P. Lovecraft did. And since I read the Jim Zub version of Rick and Morty versus Cthulhu, so I was really into I really wanted to deep dive into something written by H.P. Lovecraft, and then I found this, and then I was like, okay, I probably need to check this out. So yeah, this is by Dark Horse. It is in the manga format, and it is by Gutanabe, and it is The Call of Cthulhu and Lord Rayleigh. So yeah, there you go. And the last book we have, again, this is also like a classic. It's by Fritz Lieber, and I don't know how do you call this guy, but Fritz Lieber apparently is like one of those Robert E. Howard type people who did fantasy novels, and he wrote this Fafard and the Grey Mouser story, and then a couple of other short stories. So what Howard Chaykin and Mike Mignola and Al Williamson did is adapt those stories in like a comic book format. So yeah, so again, this Fafnir guy is like a Conan type character, so he's like a barbarian and he can fight evil and crime and whatnot, and he's accompanied by this samurai type character, so I don't know. But then yeah, but I looked at the art and like it looked fascinating to me. So it's a Dark Horse book, it's Dark Horse purchase, so I see Mike Mignola and I just have to buy it. So yeah, but that's like two Dark Horse purchases. With this was also Dark Horse. So yeah, it's a good day for Dark Horse, man. So yeah, this is like and it's a thick trade. So I was like, yeah, why the hell not? Let me give this a shot. And what it says here is like Fritz Lieber ranks amongst the giants of fantasy. He's won a lot of Hugo and Nebula World Fantasy Awards, and his most renowned creation are the swashbuckling Fafard and the Grey Mouser stories, and collected are the adaptations of that by Howard Chaykin, Mike Mignola, and Denny O'Neil. So yeah, so one of all my pre-Hellboy stuff, this is my favorite by Mike Mignola. So yeah, I'm curious to check this out, man. And yeah, that's the haul for this week. Thank you for checking out the video, and if you have any questions or something, please like and leave a comment, and yeah, I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks everyone. See you next time.